live and direct from the UK's capital, here in London. Get ready for mayhem!
Destruction All-Stars was revealed as a PS5 launch title, priced on around $70 or £60 here in the UK. Gamers like myself felt like this was far too steep for a game of this calibre. Later, to our surprise, Sony announced a delay pushing the game back to February, and with it being free to PlayStation Plus members for that month. With excitement and momentum back in full force, can this title join PlayStation Killer exclusives? Or is it a car crash waiting to happen? Just before I start the review, we here at Start Select are a small group of long-time gamers trying to grow this channel. A like and subscribe will go a very long way, and thank you so much for your support. To start things off, I would like to give credit where credit is due. The graphics and character roster is incredible. Destruction All-Stars is a great game to showcase what the PlayStation 5 is capable of. The game just begs to be noticed. The cars, characters, the levels look stunning. Like you would expect from a next gen title, you can display all of this in 4K for those who are lucky enough to run it. From the get-go, there are 16 characters to choose from. The design for each one left quite the impression. None feeling the same, characters like Shift, a cyberpunk personality with tech to go invisible, Trinkle, an overjoyful character cosplay lover, and of course, let's not forget this guy. Yeah, no matter what, I'm sure there's going to be at least one character you'll gravitate to. The roster easily gets top marks from me. The structure of the gameplay is simple. Crash into other cars to score points. Depending on the impact, you'll gain even more points. For the most part, there's a lot of fun to be had. The handling of the cars is perfectly balanced between goofy arcade fun and tight controls for great movement and positioning. I can't see anyone having a hard time picking it up. My biggest issue, it gets extremely repetitive after just a few hours. Driving in circles, crashing into other cars again and again for 5 minutes straight gets very boring very fast. You can get out your vehicle at any time you want or forced to when your car is destroyed. On paper, I love this idea. Unfortunately, playing on foot is clunky and tiresome. Running up or across walls is way more fiddly than it needs to be. The downtime searching for cars to hijack, collecting power-ups is far too common and uneventful. Overall, the gameplay is in desperate need of a new gimmick. That's when the abilities for both the cars and their characters come into play. Every racer has a unique vehicle you can gain by filling up your meter by collecting gems or crashing into cars. Like the roster, all abilities fit in well and are a fun concept. They bring enough to separate each character's playstyle. Blasting into others with spikes popping out at just the right time for meaty points is a game changer. After playing all the characters though, it's clear to see some characters got the short end of the stick. In most cases, crashing into cars while their ability is active will reward you. Others have a random target in the area they must specifically crash into for extra damage. The balancing is an issue, but still provides the much needed depth. The same can't be said for the on-foot abilities. Every character gains a speed boost and a double jump, with a unique skill to that character. A few skills are cool, while some feel underwhelming and add very little to the game. I mostly use these just for the speed to limit the on-foot sections. There are 4 game modes in total, with Mayhem easily being the best one, and it kind of feels like the game is built around it. It's easy to get in and play, score the highest points to win. I'll say the mode that surprised me the most was Carnado. Any points you accumulate with a vehicle will stack until you cash them in for your team by driving into a tornado in the centre of the stage. It adds a welcome layer of strategy to the game, drifting away from the mindless destruction fun. Being aware of losing your car along with your points is a great addition. Gridfall is a battle of the last man standing, with parts of the stage disappearing, making it smaller and harder to survive. Very similar to Fall Guys Hexagon level if you remember that game. This mode feels very forced and broken as of right now. Driving slowly around others or running around jumping on platforms helps avoid being eliminated. I feel like the best way to play this mode is to go against everything that makes this game fun in the first place. And the same can be said for our last mode, Stockpile. 2 teams of 8 have to collect gears and cash them in designated areas for their team. The problem is you have to do everything by foot. Sure, you can drive from A to B, but you have to collect the gears and cash them in on foot. The last two modes are easily the weakest ones, and I would love to see improvements going forward.
Mine? I'm training.
I'm just here.
No, you got your free ride. Didn't even have to try out. Learn the ropes somewhere else and don't come back till you learn some respect.
Lastly, I want to go over the single player challenges. I really appreciate multiplayer games having somewhat of a story mode. Watching cinematic between two characters on why they enter an arena adds a lot to an already well established roster. Gameplay wise, the mode isn't too bad. It's simple stuff like fight against the AI, time trials, and even a little throwback to the Dreamcast hit Crazy Taxi. Picking up CPUs and dropping off as many as you can before a certain time limit is fun, but it comes with the most damaging part of the game, the microtransactions. The first story is completely free, but you'll have to pay real money with All-Star coins for the next two characters. What makes this worse is you can only buy All-Star coins in sums of 500, with the second story costing you 200 and the one after that costing you 400 All-Star coins. You'll have to pay at least twice to make a total of 1000 to play them both. This scam carries over to the progression side of things too. You can earn in-game money to spend on cosmetics, but it's at a slow rate, always being offered a faster real money option. The funny thing is, I don't know who will spend money on these unlockables to begin with. It's all the same costumes with different colours, and that's all you get. With a lack of rank mode and a battle pass, there's very little reason to come back and play. Destruction All-Stars fails to know what it is. It feels far too repetitive for it to be considered a party title, but lacks enough depth for it to be a competitive multiplayer. It comes across as a free to play with awful microtransactions, but that's not the case. You can only download this for free with a paid PS Plus prescription until the end of March. After that, it's a full price AAA title. I really hope to come back to this game with updates and improvements, but as of right now, I honestly think this game's gonna die in the next 2 to 3 months. And there we have it guys, my honest review of Destruction All-Stars. If you enjoyed this video, why not check out Colin's fantastic review of Bugsnap. I've been Nathan, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. GG's.